Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. Ben Bernanke has surprised the markets once again and he has decided to keep on hold the tapering and so $85 billion of bond buying will continue till there is some more improvement in the economic situation and in the labor market. This move has come in as a major surprise for the markets, as a large majority of the market was expecting that there is going to be some amount of taper anywhere from 10 to $15 billion. So we've seen rally across the global markets as well as in some of the commodities, and at the same time we have seen weakness in the US dollars against most of the currencies, and euro is quoting at as high as about 1.35 against the dollar. European markets were also up about 0.5 to 1% on the back of a very strong surprise that we have seen in the form of tapering not happening. US markets too were up about almost 1%. They all are at a record high levels. And when we look at the Asian markets today morning, many of the markets are shut, like China, Taiwan and South Korea, but Nikkei is up almost 1%, and some of the smaller Asian markets are up anywhere from 3 to about 5%. SGX Nifty is also suggesting that we are going to open up almost about 160 points, and that would make the Nifty open up around 6100 levels, which is again the record high that we have seen in the recent past. In terms of flows, FIs were net buyers in the cash market to the tune of 580 crore, and the domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of 508 crore. On that note, let me invite Sadhna to take us through important F&O cues, data and strategies that we can have in the F&O markets.
Good morning friends, let's have a view on derivatives. Yesterday, ahead of outcome from the US Fed Reserve, markets were trading flat in first half of the trade. And later we have seen that a sharp recovery ahead of long positions were accumulated by market participants. As we have seen that 2.17 lakh shares were added in open interest, and Nifty futures premium increased marginally from 30 to 32 odd levels. And we have seen that call option has added around 22 lakh shares in open interest, whereas put option has added around 21 lakh shares in open interest, due to which PCR has cooled off further from 1.32 to 1.31. It is clearly visible in the options activity. As we have seen that 5800 followed by 5700 put option has seen a good activity, and whereas on higher side, if we see 5900 to 6300 call option has seen a good activity. And ahead of a positive outcome from the US Fed Reserve, our markets are trading. Singapore Nifty is trading above the mark of 6100. So we may see a gap up opening in our markets, Indian markets too. From intraday perspective, one can go along an idea with a stop loss of 161.20. Thank you.
Here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. First of all, as we discussed before, Federal Reserve has kept the tapering on hold. The bond buying will go on at about $85 billion a month, and this could actually spark off rally across the emerging markets. And particularly, we feel that the high beta banking names could see a spike of anywhere from 5 to 10%. So there is some more upside for some of the names like Axis Bank, ICICI Bank, and some of the other private sector banks like IndusInd Bank, Yes Bank, etc. And also we think that this would have some kind of a relief for the currency, and we think that the rupee can stabilize around maybe $61, $62 or thereabouts. In other developments, Strides Arcolab has received the approval from the US FDA for Belta Pharma's facility at Milan, and this is definitely a bit of a relief for the Strides Arcolab. And NMDC, some negative news as Naxalites have stormed into their plant at Dantewada district of Chhattisgarh and have damaged the property, so there could be some negative reaction in the NMDC stock. For the Ultra Mega Power project, CBI is probing the alleged irregularities in the allotments of that, and the report has been submitted by the CAG last year in the process of bidding of large 4000 megawatts power projects. So this is a bit of a negative for the entire power sector per se. Government is looking at allowing FDI in the railways, particularly for the rail lines between the project sites and the existing network, and this definitely means that there's a pressure on the government to actually build a certain network and infrastructure, particularly connecting the ports, mines and other industrial hubs that we have in the country. So this is definitely a bit of a sentiment booster for the foreign flows through FDI. Coming to the company specific news, Coal India has sanctioned about 2,300 crore for the new mining projects, which would have an estimated capacity of about 12.5 million tons. So one can go long on Coal India with a stop loss of 291 and a target of about 312 to about 320. And DAN Network, some positive news again, as INB has approved the 110 million investment by Goldman investment in DAN Network. So one can go long on DAN Network with a stop loss of 174 and a target of about 187 to 195. And Suzlon, again some positive news, as the company has signed an agreement with China's Poly Longma Energy to sell 75% stake in Suzlon Energy Tinagen for about $28 million. So one can go long on Suzlon with a stop loss of 6.35 and a target of about 7 rupees. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a good trading session and see you tomorrow at the same time.